From the mud to the rise, yeah, we built it on the grind. Trench talk, real talk, leave the fake ones behind. We don't fold, we don't break, every move we define. It's the code from the trenches where the real ones align.
Today, we got the story of how Memo600 dissed Memo600 after a deadly setup, OBlock and 600 talk in hunting season, and how this beef tore a crew apart from the inside out. Buckle up. This one's for the trenches. We in Chicago. Growing up here, kids ain't just bringing books to school, guns, smoke, beef, it's all normal. Streets here don't wait for you to grow up or choose what kind of life you want. They wrap around you like a storm, and you learn quick that survival means more than just staying out of trouble. From a young age, kids in Chicago are forced to navigate a world where danger lurks behind every corner. Memo600? He wasn't no stranger to gunshots and showdowns. That was everyday life for him. It wasn't rare or unexpected, it was the soundtrack to the block, the rhythm of the neighborhood. Whether it was the crack of gunfire ringing out at night or fights breaking out over respect, territory, or old grudges, these moments were etched into the daily grind. Memo once said, shootouts, fights, that was regular. Metal detectors came in, side doors got locked, but that didn't stop nothing. Even when schools tried to clamp down, bringing in measures to keep kids safe by installing metal detectors and barricading entrances, the reality on the ground didn't change. The dangers from outside the school walls followed the kids in, and sometimes even came from inside. These security efforts were like putting a band-aid on a wound that ran far too deep. For Memo and many like him, this wasn't just growing up, this was survival. It wasn't a choice or a lifestyle, they didn't get to choose peace. Instead, they had to move with caution, learn who to trust, and keep their guard up every second. It was about making it through another day in a city where loyalty, respect, and quick reflexes could be the difference between life and death. This was the reality behind the music and the stories, a survival code written in every step taken on the cold streets of Chicago. 600 and OBlock was like brothers. They moved and came up together, sharing the same streets, the same struggles, and the reputation that came with their names. To outsiders, it looked like one tight-knit unit, a family bound by more than just neighborhood lines, more like a brotherhood. But even brothers got war. In the world of street politics and loyalty, blood relations don't always mean peace. Loyalty can be tested, alliances can shift, and the line between family and foe can blur fast. Memo600, Memo600, Munna Duke, there was all 600/OBlock, representing the same crew, the same legacy. But just because they were all under that same banner didn't mean they were all family. Behind the scenes, tensions simmered. Clashes of pride, personal grudges, and disagreements started to crack the surface. A real rift began to show when Memo600 and Munna Duke fell out. What started as small disagreements turned into something bigger, a divide that started to split the loyalty within the group. Memo600 openly said, "We've been had this," referring to the long-standing beef between him and Duke. This wasn't some quick spat, this was something brewing for a while. The tension was no secret. Everyone saw it simmering, especially on social media where the conflict played out in real time, tweets, posts, shaded comments, and diss tracks. This digital battlefield only fueled what was already a heated rivalry in real life. The so-called clubhouse beef became a public spectacle, with people taking sides and watching the fallout unfold. Then came the moment that changed everything. When Munna Duke got killed, instead of sadness or mourning, the internet witnessed Memo trolling. There was no sympathy, no remorse, just straight heat. Many couldn't understand why someone from the same crew wouldn't show respect in such a moment. But for Memo, it was deeper than that. The pain, the politics, the betrayals had come first. The history between them, mixed with broken trust and ongoing conflict, overpowered any sense of brotherhood. In the streets, loyalty is fragile, and forgiveness even rarer. To Memo, Duke's death wasn't just a loss, it was part of a bitter story of betrayal and survival, where showing weakness could mean danger. Story goes, Memo got shot at an OBlock. "You can't force me to mess with y'all. We not cool, we not rockin'," says Memo. Rumors flew that Duke or someone close put those shots in motion, and Memo ain't one to let a slight slide. He says, when I got hit, Duke was trolling me online, laughing, posting. So when he got dropped, I kept the same energy. That's code for, don't show love to people who've been waiting to watch you die. Memo ain't just keep it on Instagram. He dropped bars, made it public, naming names, exposing fakes. That's when the rest of 600 and even some from OBlock started turning against him. Nah, everyone in 600 don't feel like me, Memo says. Some of them called it a big loss. Me? That's not my brother. I stand on business. But the streets don't sleep on disrespect, especially in Chicago's harsh environment. News moves faster than the cops or the media can catch up. When Memo600 dropped those disses on Duke, trolled OBlock, and openly called out half the 600 crew, it wasn't just online chatter, it was a direct challenge, a spark ready to ignite the powder keg. Pictures of Memo standing defiantly in front of King Von's mural deep in OBlock weren't just for clout, they were a fearless declaration that he wasn't afraid to confront anyone, anywhere. That place is sacred to many, and showing up there with hostility was a signal of war. The 600 crew in OBlock didn't take that lightly. The response was immediate with heated words, threats, and rumors swirling about getbacks and retaliation. Street politics played out openly but under layers of coded messages and silent tensions. Yet, amidst all this pressure, Memo600 held his ground. Chicago's street reality is fractured. There's no real unity, just factions and individual agendas. OBlock and 600 might get grouped together by outsiders, but in truth, everyone's playing their own game. Memo said it plainly, everybody claiming 600 or OBlock for cool points, but really, everyone got their own path and their own targets. There's no collective loyalty, only temporary alliances until the next conflict. Memo's outspokenness turned him into a public enemy not only to his rivals but also within his own circle. The very people who once backed him started stepping away, trying to avoid the fallout but understanding the unspoken rules of the streets. When disrespect is thrown, retaliation is inevitable. Loyalty is fragile, and crossing lines means you're fair game, even to those you once trusted. In these streets, you don't apologize for altering the balance, you defend yourself or you fall. Despite the mounting threats and isolation, Memo didn't back down. No apologies, no peace talks, just raw defiance. His message was unambiguous, if you out for me, bring it. I ain't running. In these trenches, if you ain't standing alone, you might be falling with the crowd. That's the brutal truth of survival in the city's deadliest corners. Trust no one but yourself, and be ready to face whatever comes head on. This story transcends music or fame. It's a mirror reflecting the gritty reality of betrayal, loss, and the endless loop of revenge that plagues Chicago's streets. The ongoing clash between Memo600, Domo600, OBlock, and the 600 crew is a powerful lesson about the cost of loyalty, the harshness of survival, and the unbreakable will to keep your name untouchable even when everyone around you tries to erase it. In this world, respect isn't just a word, it's currency. Messing with that currency invites trouble that echoes far beyond the block. Beef isn't just conflict, it's a way to be remembered, a legacy carved in fire. So if you're watching, understand this, on these streets, every move, every word, every look counts. And the game? It never stops.